Hey everyone, it's Lindsay with the Creative Arrow, and today I'm going to take you through page by page a official sketchbook tour of my 7th completed art journal. So this is the one that I made myself. It is a handmade art journal that I repurposed from an old book, and I filled it with my own leaflets of all kinds of different scrapbook paper, watercolor paper, and different kind of papers like that. So I'm going to take you through, starting with the cover. This is just a bunch of collage pieces of scrapbook paper that I put on here along with my duct tape binding. And I did a Mod Podge cover over the top just to help kind of protect it so it doesn't peel and separate as I use it. The inside, more scrapbook paper, more stickers, collaging, little pieces of ephemera, and some quotes that I wanted to use. For these pages, this is actually an envelope that is a part of my unit here. This is the other side of it. And these pages are mostly just collaging, using love letters, my inspiration, and then just kind of like some journaling about how magical it is to receive handwritten love letters, and people don't do that so much anymore, so I really just kind of wanted to journal about that. For this page, you're gonna see this a lot actually. Sometimes when I want to be creative and I don't know what to do or I don't have a lot of time, I'll actually just take some of my washi tape and I will just fill a whole page with washi tape and leave that as my page. And I love how it complements other designs and patterns. And like I said, you're gonna see this a lot actually. This is actually the table lamp on my bedstand, and I just wanted to doodle it one day, and so I just did it with a blue brush pen and then added this little quote: sometimes you're the lamp, sometimes you're the shadow, find someone who will love you either way. This is more collaging, also based on love. And I actually added a bunch of acrylics and then like stickers and stuff on top of this one. I love how it turned out. This is a short little page that I taped together and made into a pocket. And it has these little pieces in here that are just kind of fun to put together, take out, and kind of like see what I got up to those days. I love adding pockets. I love adding things that have movement, can be taken out. More collaging. There's no limit to my love for you. Really had love on the brain at the beginning of this one, even though it's like summer and stuff. This sheet is from, it's an old music sheet from when I did orchestra. I used to play the violin in high school, so I just found it and added it into my art journal. This is actually one of my YouTube videos. This is a gouache painting that I did kind of inspired by Starry Night, but it's got a little tent and some fireplace and stars. This is all marker, and I think my inspiration was fields or something like that. I grew up in Iowa. I currently live in Illinois, so this is home to me. These are more smaller pages with just stickers and collaging. I really just love combining collage work, ephemera, all of that. Those are like my favorite things. This one's all inspired by butterflies, stenciling, some brush script. This is also in my YouTube channel. It's an acrylic painting that I did, and I used a balloon for the background portion first, and then I painted all these flowers on top. It was really fun, and I love how it turned out. This one was experimenting with different kind of like background painted techniques. So this is all acrylic work. And then with this little small insert here, I just added a whole bunch of ephemera from like popular paintings and then doodled around it. And I love how this one has like this little cutout, so you can kind of see it on both parts. I just love experimenting with different things like that. This is based off of a design that I did on a pot, like a flower pot, which is actually also in my YouTube channel. And I loved the motif so much that I added it in here, and it really turned out really nicely. This is more acrylic painting, and then doodling on top for fall. This is where my daughter got a hold of my sketchbook and started scribbling in it, so then I was scribbling on top, added some ferns, more of her scribbling, more of me painting on top. I kind of love it, actually. Some people will get really upset by it, but that's her way of being creative, and I want to foster that. So like, I'm just gonna include it, and then it becomes a memory. So I kind of love when my kids actually accidentally or purposely get into my art journals. This is again another series where I just filled the whole page with washi tape. And on this side, I have lyrics from one of my favorite songs at the time. So this is the All Too Well by Taylor Swift, and I just love that song. So I doodled some lyrics in there. More acrylic painting techniques, just experimenting with brushwork and colors. Some simple cats on this side, and then another pocket on this side. This is actually from one of my students. My students love to give me artwork, and I love to include it in my art journals as well. And then a note from one of my friends. Her and I send each other pretty much, I would say, once a month at this point, sometimes weekly, it feels like, and we just send each other stickers and ephemeras and little cute things. This one is all inspired by insects. I have some wing cutouts, and then I have all of these ones that are in the background doodled on top. I like to also, if you're somebody that likes to make lists, I like to make lists and check those off. Sometimes I'll add pages for my art journal progress, and this is just so that, like, when I finish a page, I can check it off, and it encourages me to keep going, not get stuck, and it's always fun to look back on as well. I used the same color palette for this side, and I just did a simple partial daisy, my favorite flower. This one is all based off of music, so I have different instruments, some music notes, and things on that. And then this is the other side of that envelope, so it becomes its own little pocket insert. And I have different things I've collected. This is a drawing from my daughter, another note from my friend. This is from a piece that I did for like my first gallery show recently. And this is also a thank you note from a friend. And it's fun to just kind of keep those things in there, tucked away. I can have those to look back on. This was all done in acrylics and then like paint markers on top. More collaging. These are some stickers that I got from my friend. This is actually a piece from a student. You just kind of combine it all together. So this is all still in the summer of 2024. This is just some simple acrylics on the top, nothing super fancy. It's not even realistic, honestly, but it was just like something relaxing to do at the time. And then I just love how this cutout, when you flip it, it completely changes on both sides. But it's all super experimental and creative. There's nothing so soft and sweet as butterfly wings. I just kind of love that thought. And then just put some butterflies around it. This side, I really liked the scrapbook paper behind it, like the design of it. But I wanted to just kind of have it like pop out and then fall to the background. So I put this other acrylics on top, and then I took a paint pen and pulled the design back. So you have that kind of juxtaposition, and I love how that turned out. More acrylic painting. This one has a little bit of glitter on it. And then a quote to go along with it. Collaging, and then this was actually, I pressed some acrylics here, and then I love the design, and you can't feel it through the video obviously, but it's got this really amazing texture, and I just really didn't want to change it. I mean, it was so experimental, it turned out so nicely, I just left that one there. More acrylic techniques, more collaging. This is another example of me doing art journal progress. So every time I filled a page, I would put the stripe in as a full color, and then I kind of made it like a rainbow effect. More washi tape. This is some of my favorite washi tape. It turned out so cute. And then this one is just a string of pearls, and I loved this quote to go with it. A great life is nothing more than a series of days well lived, strung together like a string of pearls. So instead of going white, I did go kind of like a greenish color here, and I actually kind of liked how it went along with the gold. This is actually in my YouTube channel. I just collaged a bunch of sticky notes, and it ended up being really fun and relaxing. And again, this one also has like a texture that you can't feel, but I can. More collaging. I kind of love these little short inserts. They really change depending on what page you're on. And then this is just an envelope from getting some stickers, and I included that in there. More, I actually love doing these kinds of rainbow things, and since it's going to be spring really soon, these are going to show up in my art journals a lot more. More collaging. This is a sketch from a tree outside of my job, outside of the school, and it's like this really big, beautiful tree. I love this tree. So I took my drawing class out there one day when it was nice, and then I drew as well, and it was just something that I included and journaled about. This we're getting into fall. So this is September of 2024. This is going to be all of my fall things. My favorite fall things included here, collaged with some like acrylics on top. And then this is actually also in my YouTube channel, and it's a scribble positive space design that I did. And then I added The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe on top. One of my favorite poems actually to use, especially around Halloween and spooky season. This one is some collaging with acrylics, and the main piece here is this rainbow, and this is actually from my daughter. So she drew me this picture, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I cut the rainbow out and I just glued one piece of it, and now it becomes like this really special spread, and I love how this turned out. This is just a little prose or a little poem that I came up with about autumn breeze. More collaging. This is also similar to the Raven. This is a scribble design that I did also in my YouTube channel. More collaging, more fall, more stickers. So much fun. And then I also love like practicing my brush script and my cursive, and so just adding different flowers, labeling everything. This is a series I did also on my YouTube channel, where I was showing you how you can make different simple pumpkin shapes using basic shapes. And so that was really fun, and I actually went way beyond this. So like I started with squares and circles, but what you can't see in YouTube is I have like 50 different shape designs of pumpkins. That's a different sketchbook. This one was all based off of purples and blues, and I just kind of really love sometimes collaging with one simple color palette. It's just really pleasing and aesthetic. More collaging, more short, simple cutouts that change the whole spread. And then I loved this little quote. There's magic in the million little insignificant ways that you say I love you. Just happiness on this page. More fall, collaging, acrylic painting, bees because they're super cute. And then this is actually, I only glued the backside and then I tied them together, so that was really fun. And then this is a metallic paint pen for my honeycombs, so you have that little bit of gold and sparkly shiny. Oops. Ooh, I love how this one turned out. I would really like to include this in like a bigger framed piece in my house, so this is kind of like that reminder. But yeah, stacked pumpkins are really fun, and just the color palette turned out really nicely. More collaging on this side. This is what I say to my daughters all the time. I love you, sweet girl. And then this is, I really wanted to use this scrapbook paper because it was so simple and so cute, and I couldn't think of what to put on top of it. So I did a little acrylic ghost, and I just really fell in love with him as soon as he was done. So cute. This is me art journaling about the change of seasons. So this is going from fall to winter now. So talking about the changing, my coffee order is going to change, the clocks are going to change, I have to bring my plants in, stuff like that. More of my washi tape, just one of my favorite techniques to do relaxing wise. Some people would call this a waste of materials. I think anything you do with your materials where you're using them and it makes you happy, not a waste. So that's my own personal opinion. More collaging, lots of collaging. This is probably my most experimental journal. I just really used every material I had. This is all marker, and I just wanted to play around with them, so I did this. This is the circle design for my pumpkin sketches in my art journal on my YouTube channel. More stickers, metallic marker. This is from November of 2024, so I had some feelings that I was going through, and I had to journal about them. So where there's hatred, spread love. Where there's division, fight for unity. Where there's darkness, be the light. And where there's despair, pray for hope. And this is just a continuation of that. Never give up, strive daily for a better world. Our children deserve it. Still true today, absolutely 100%. So still trying to like paint some happiness. These are just some watercolor flowers with like some ink on top. Here we're getting close to Thanksgiving, so we did some gather. Make life beautiful. More collaging with November, cozy things. Again, it's getting cold, so that you need to get your cozy stuff out. These are all just little prose that I came up with again to go along with the pages. More happiness needed, so I'm painting flowers even though it's in the middle of winter. Beautiful, delightful, charming, heartfelt, and timeless. That's how I feel about sunflowers. This is more autumn and fall collaging. Now we're into winter, so I've got like the glittery snowflake collage. That's all done in acrylics. Love snake plants, love all plants, but snake plants are one of my favorites. I just love how easy they are and so like resilient. You'll find me where the night ends and the coffee begins. That's so true. This one is experimenting with the background, and I just wanted to keep it simple on top. So this is like a basket woven kind of technique in the background with acrylics. This one, again, so November 26, 2024, this is like the end of one holiday season, beginning into another. And I really needed this reminder for myself. Once she stopped rushing through life, she was amazed how much more life she had time for. So true. More washi tape. Love, absolutely love pages of washi tape. Again, collaging about a time I spent with my children. Love spending time with my daughters, creating. That was over Thanksgiving break. And this one, I actually had my dad scan a recipe card from my grandmother. So I have her text and her handwriting, and I created a little insert here for it to be kept in, and now I have that forever. This is just acrylics. I started out with this color and I kept adding white to end up with white over here. Collaging with washi tape and stickers. More ephemera stickers. This is my daughter scribbled again in my art journal. She was really young then, so she loved to grab things and just add her marks. So I was actually okay with this. It's better here than on the wall or on the furniture. And I just collaged it and then made it a page. And then this side, I kept it. I did not go over it. I gave her due credits, original artwork from her, and I dated it. And then this is actually a funny story. This is the first page I ever did. But when I started this art journal, I didn't have a front cover yet. So I actually did this page this way. And then I realized that it was upside down once I added the cover. And so I left it that way. Now it's a memory. So this is actually the very first page I ever did in July. And then ended up being my last page, which is kind of funny. And then this is the end. I just filled the back cover with a book, some flowers, some more artwork for my children. This is from my oldest daughter. She cut that out and taped that in for me. So I gave them their credits there at the top. And then I have just a little wish. You will conquer obstacles to achieve success. And that is it. That is my 7th completed art journal from a repurposed old book. And this is probably one of my most experimental and one of my favorites. I love looking back at it. So I know this ended up being a long video. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. I really, truly appreciate everybody's support and kind words and everything like that. So if you like this video, let me know. Leave me some comments, like, subscribe. If you want to see something from me specifically based off of art journaling or anything creative, just let me know. I'm so much looking forward to doing things based off of your ideas as well. So let me know what you want to see. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.